Hi everyone. Good afternoon. Hello everybody. How are you? I hope you're doing good today. So my name is Andrei Kozikov. First of all, please let me know if you're able to hear me and see me well. If we can, you know, uh, start from the technical perspective. Everything is good. If you can put in the chat or just send me a like or okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, thanks a lot once again for joining. So this webinar also, it's going to be recorded definitely. Maybe you can just, check and review some of the maybe useful points after that, and maybe you also will decide to share it with your colleagues. So please feel free to do this. Also, during the webinar, we have quite I think quite a lot of things to discuss and to show, to see them, in the practical cases. At the same time, please, write down your questions. We have the Q&A panel here in Teams available, so please go ahead, put your questions, and we can, do this more interactive. And I will try to definitely reply and address your questions at the end, inshallah. So I also need to just mention that a couple of words about us, Graphist, the Adobe distributor across MENA region. So we are responsible. You can consider us as an extension of Adobe actually in the region. So we are responsible for Creative Cloud solutions, generative AI like Firefly and partner models as well, the tools like Adobe Express, Substance 3D, Adobe Stock, of course, and of course Acrobat, family of applications for document workflows like Acrobat Studio to the AI Assistant and Acrobat Sign, and actually many other solutions as Adobe distribution, and also beside the Adobe tools we also have in our portfolio. So definitely we might be really, really valuable, if you have the digital transformation strategies and you need support with the smart solution, intelligent solutions today, not only on creative side. But my role today definitely to be focused on the creative applications and creative tools of Adobe. So without delays, I just want to emphasize also, if you need to connect with me, I mean to be stay connected, please scan this QR code in the corner, because it might be important, to continue our discussions if you will have any questions after that. So the thing is, I'm actually ex-Adobe solution consultant, and I'm a solution consultant here in Graphist now. So I work in the industry like for, we can say, more than 20 years in different roles, from designer, technical designer, and creative designer to technical director of design studio and trainer for most of Adobe products with the certifications and all of the stuff. So let's jump to the today's the main agenda for today. So I don't want to spend our time a lot with the slides and presentations. So I would definitely jump to the demonstration. But we have to emphasize some few things, related with the applications, with the licenses, definitely. So let me start with those things related. We talk about the future of creativity in the coming era of the generative AI, definitely of the AI, right? So, and the issue, and I'm sure you can see yourself or maybe your colleagues, your marketing departments and design departments in the same situation or similar situation. This is what we can see everywhere. I mean, approximately the demand for the content constantly increasing, and there is no sign to slow down. Completely opposite. So we can predict, we can see that its trend is become even more higher. So, and it creates lots of problems, lots of challenges for marketing and creatives. Yeah, we need to think about how we can jump from the workflows like this. Specifically, also now the generative AI models like Adobe Firefly and Nano Banana and Google View or many others, they came to the picture also, and we need to also understand how to implement them to our workflows, how to connect them with the desktop applications or cloud-based services or whatever, and how to upload, download our files all the time from the browsers or back. I mean, also think from the IT perspective or design lead perspective, we also need to think about the governance of our data, how we can use these third-party models and etc. It's not easy, definitely. It's quite challenging today. So, and our recommendation, I mean, our suggestion here in the strategy to move away from this chaotic situation to something much more structured when we can work with the Creative Cloud tools and start using the services included with Creative Cloud, like Adobe Stock, like the Adobe Express as a bridge with our marketing teams, let's say, and also the generative AI. And you can consider Adobe Firefly not only as the family of the models for images and videos and different stuff, but also like an orchestration level orchestration solution for the third-party models today, like Google and Topaz and 11 Labs. All of them, they embedded today across your Creative Cloud subscriptions if you have one, and Creative Cloud for Enterprise, Creative Cloud for Teams. Yeah, speaking about the licenses, this is the example of Creative Cloud for Enterprise Edition 4. We call it CCE 4. This is the latest version of Enterprise. You might be not upgraded maybe right now. If you're on an Enterprise, you have to check with your admins, your IT, if you're getting not only desktop tools like it was in the previous version, the regular Enterprise, but now you can also get you have the connected services like for sharing the files, Photoshop files, InDesign files, working in the cloud together in many, many cases. And even in Photoshop now, we can work simultaneously in Photoshop on the file, not just send it only for review. And also the really important thing, today you are getting not only with Enterprise Edition, if you have a Teams version of Creative Cloud, you have almost the same, we can say equal capabilities in terms of the generative AI features, 4,000 credits for the premium generative AI features to generate videos, to generate images with third-party models also, and audio effects, and everything included with the Adobe Firefly premium features with Creative Cloud, okay? So, and if we talk about Enterprise Edition 4 or Creative Cloud for Teams Pro Plus version, if you're on the Teams version, I mean, you can be on the Creative Cloud Pro. This is by default, you have it, Creative Cloud Pro. So in Creative Cloud Pro, you have only the generative AI features as an additional, extra benefits, we can say, but you don't have stock. With Pro Plus, you can get it. Adobe Stock, definitely, it's something we need in our workflows on the daily basis, because all the time we need some assets, not only images. Images, we can say we can generate half of them today, right? But we need also professional videos. We need professional templates, mockups, and everything related with this. So generative AI today, it's not only, just type in a prompt and generate some image, yeah, like this. We actually speak about, talk about the complete workflows, and Firefly, like I mentioned, plays an orchestration role also in that case. So through Firefly, we can access different models to generate images, videos, soundtracks, or we can even start with the board, and we can, let's say, generate some videos like this for our products, some animation from the photograph, let's say, and we can also continue in Adobe Illustrator if we want to use generative AI inside Adobe Illustrator and generate some pattern like this, right? And we can use maybe generative recolor to suggest, to propose some different options and different styles for our color scheme for the product. And then we jump to Photoshop, let's say, and here we can do some refinements like adopted for different screens with the extend image feature, expand image. And also we can, let's say, convert it with the new models. We can imitate even 3D render, photorealistically looking 3D render, and even upscale this image for the final, step in the production, we can say, because maybe we need to print it, maybe we need to use it in the big screen somewhere for the as an advertisement and etc. So we have everything now included across the Creative Cloud applications. And when it comes to let's say delivery part, yeah, you have Acrobat included, right? You have Adobe Express. I don't know if you're familiar with Adobe Express. This is a little bit separate discussion. I don't want to touch it today, but this is all-in-one tool, also included with Creative Cloud. And for you as a design team, as a designers, or some administrator from the organization, you can consider Adobe Express also as a bridge, as an integrated solution in between of Creative Cloud, creative production, to the marketing or sales or any other departments across your organizations, right? Because this is the way how we can send professional templates, our visuals, presentations, designs, posts, advertisement, videos through Adobe Express, from Premiere Pro, from Photoshop, from InDesign, because Adobe Express has support for each and every lots of Adobe formats, PDF formats, and etc. And we can just jump with our creations, with our projects through the cloud and share these projects with our marketing team, let them reuse it, change the text, change the messages, and with the AI maybe even, and change the images and everything, but staying on brand, using or reusing our templates and things. Speaking about the generative AI models, I want to just emphasize, today you have Adobe models, and with Adobe Firefly models, you can, essentially, you can do whatever you want today. From image vectors like logos, let's say, to videos and even design templates in Adobe Express, or even audio. Yeah, so we have everything, and everything is commercially safe. You have content credentials. You have also the commitment of Adobe for, they never train the models based on your data. So Firefly models, they commercially safe, and with certain licenses like Teams Pro Plus and Edition 4, you're also getting the IP identification, which means you have an insurance provided by Adobe with this specific type of Creative Cloud licenses, right? So just to stay calm, stay, with the trust, like Adobe can support you in case of if your designers using the generative AI, they will replicate someone else's work. Partner models, I don't know if you're familiar with some of them. I'm sure you are, because there is Nano Banana, there is also Google View, of course, all the models of OpenAI for video and images, and upscalers like Topaz and many others. As you can see, even 11 Labs now integrated with Creative Cloud, and you have the access through the Creative Cloud applications, from this orchestration level of Firefly, right? So custom models, this is something specific. I don't want to discuss it now, but let's jump right away to the Firefly application. And now I'm just switching to the Firefly boards, right? So let me start with the Firefly boards. Here in the Firefly interface, we have different things. We can start with the creation for images and videos. By the way, my recommendation definitely would be for you just go to Firefly, and definitely you have to check what's happening here. Because sometimes here you can find lots of really interesting settings for different video models. Let's say if you click more settings for video, you're gonna get the list of the models available. Let's say you have Runway here, and settings on the left side might be, different. For Google View, you have much more settings. The complete support, finally, it has been added by Adobe also. So you have the frames, first frame, last frame. Also, you can add additional images if you want to use them and implement to the video you want to generate. So you have your prompt, and you have this advanced setting on the side. The quality, the aspect ratio, the duration of the video. As you can see, for different models, it might be different. So even for, let's say, Ray 3.14, the latest model from Luma, absolutely amazing model also today. You can see how many credits it's going to utilize. We can generate up to 4Ks. 4K video, and etc. You know, this is something we can explore here in this interface. But I want to jump. I want to go back for a second because here we have lots of different things, right? So, for instance, we have boards. What is it? What is it about? The boards. It's the completely new way to actually work on our concepts or on our iterations. And let me, let's say, open this project for you for a second. The board for the actually advertisement movie. The complete board created right here with all this, you know, text notes and explanations, and also with the visuals like reference images. We can just drag and drop these reference images to the board, regroup them, move them away. I mean, if we need to reallocate them, you know, if we work on some specific things, we can just duplicate. We can, let's say, right there, we have some editing tools. We don't have to go to Photoshop each and every second, you know, to insert something different. Let's say I want to insert some, I don't know, airplane here, you know, flying. So I can just mention, like, I want to see this airplane right there, right? And I can just, let's say, type an airplane flying in the sky. Okay, so I mean, you can add some specific, of course, airplane. We can do the same in Photoshop with more precision, but it's just to give you an idea sometimes, because from the art direction perspective, from the concepting perspective, we need to explore the things you know, much faster. We don't have any time to switch in between of tools, you know. And by the way, it has integration with Photoshop and Illustrator directly, so I can just drag and drop my PSD file to the same project, and I'm gonna get everything what I have inside my PSD file, and it's going to remain connected with the. And I have this airplane, you know, coming like this, or I have some different versions here, and I just got it in a couple of seconds, considering also lightning in this scene. As you can see, it's quite naturally implemented, embedded like this maybe, right? So beautiful. We have interesting composition now. So maybe like this, we're gonna keep it. And this is, you know, maybe new direction for our video production, video idea. And certain stage, as you can see, I have lots of scenes here. At certain stage, maybe it will require to generate some video based on it, right? So I can do this also quite easily. And first of all, I want to maybe share with some of my colleagues, right? Let them see this project with me. Let us, you know, to explore this together. And I'm going to add someone from my team, you know, my colleague, maybe some video editing guy or designer. In that case, a video editing professional. And I'm gonna invite this person for co-editing, not only commenting or reviewing process, right? Easily I can do because it's in the web, it's in the cloud, secured. So I can just copy the link, and I'm going to jump to my another account, let's say, just to observe it from the perspective of my colleague. And just, you know, because he already received, of course, the invitation to this project, but now it's just to simplify the process, I can just copy paste the link to the chat. And from this branch, let's say, I can see that someone is also working on this particular piece of the content right now because of this indication, the frame around, right? And if I jump back as the owner of this project, I also can see the cursor of my colleague, Andre. So, I mean, the name in that case is the same because both of the accounts on my side, so both of them under my name. But anyways, it can give you an idea. So we can see that two different persons are working here, right, in the same document. And if I duplicate something, if I, let's say, decide to convert it, I mean, immediately I can see everything reflected just maybe in a half of the second, right? So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to, let's say, generate a video based on this content, right? So what I can do, I can just select this particular piece of content. Just give me a second. I want to use the selection tool. And everything what I need, I have right away, like editing, conversion, and etc. So I can just maybe convert it to a video quickly. And I'm going to mention something with the Firefly video, let's say, add movement to this composition. I mean, just convert it to a video, okay, for me. Just be smart, play with it. So as you can see, the prompt is so simple. I'm not going to wait for it. I just want to jump to another project here just to demonstrate you maybe more complex workflows. So as you can see, I have lots of examples here. And let's start with something like the, just give me a sec. I want to switch it to another project. Yeah, the project like this. So what if we work in the interior design project? And maybe we just want to explore some different ideas, right? So let me just jump to something like my interior design projects here. So Firefly, and I'm going to get something like a few ideas for some materials for the chair, because I'm working on some of the design, for the chair. And I'm going to just drag and drop all of these images, see how fast it is. All of my Adobe stock files or images and references I have in my production, maybe I created before, or maybe some renders, I just got them immediately in my board, and all of them structured. So yeah, I can realign them like mosaic view, or I can just even collect them in the new artboard if I need, and I can move them together as the new artboard. It's so simple, so useful to work with. And I already got this interesting, textures here. And what I also did using my Wacom device, I have it, of course, all the time with me in Photoshop. I created this image and I already added this image to just drag and drop it from Photoshop. And I have it now here. So with the Wacom device, with this, additional screen and tablet at the same time, graphic tablet, with this screen, I just was able to draw things precisely using the all the flexibility of brushes imitating this pencil in Photoshop, right? So this is what I did because I want to keep the control, the ideation on my side as a creator, because let's say as a furniture designer, I have lots of ideas already and I just want to use AI to speed up the processes for me, speed up the ideation. So what I can do now, I can just, let's say, use these two materials to generate some additional images for myself, right? How I can do this? I can just edit this particular image right there inside Firefly, and I can say, all right, I want to use the Nana Banana, let's say the old version of Nana Banana, the previous version, and I'm going to use it for the, let's say, landscape image. And the second reference image I want to add, it's going to be just this material maybe, right? The prompt in that case, it's going to be something really simple, like let's say convert to a photorealistic render of a chair, right? Again, maintain geometry and shape, right? Incorporate textures and colors from the second image, right? Something like this. And by the way, I can improve the prompt right here because I have the enhance prompt feature. Absolutely fantastic. And also I can see how many credits is going to utilize this particular generation before I click generate, because from my subscription and all the time I can check here on the side how many credits left and when the credit pack is going to be renewed for me automatically, because each and every month, every user is getting the 4,000 credits package. But by the way, we can add more, and believe me, you will need more, because once you will explore all this functionality, you will start using this on the daily basis. It's absolutely amazing across all the applications. That's why you might need the additional credits, of course, after that. And using different models, I can maybe even add up to 6 different references. Maybe I want to combine something like this also, and etc. In that case, I want to keep the prompt really, really simple. So the conversion was, the ideas provided by the enhanced prompt feature were really good, actually. Everything needed to get the beautiful image and good result was there. But in that case, I just want to mention that incorporate parametric textures and color and materials from the second image. Okay, Let me generate. So, and the beauty is also we can generate in parallel. So again, this project right now actually also shared with my colleague. Yeah, so I can switch to the interface when I can see this project from the, from my colleague perspective, and I can just maybe access the same board. Let me just go back for a second and open the same board here. Yeah, this is the board I started to use. As you can see, it's so fast. Regardless, we might have like hundreds and hundreds visuals inside this board. See all the changes the owner of the project already made, all of them reflected for me, right? So, and I can also start with the creation from my side now. I can explore the things. Okay, let me go back for a second, and we're gonna check what we've got actually. Yeah, something interesting we've got. Let me regenerate once again. Yeah, by the way, something we have like quite interesting. Maybe I did not explain that I need to maintain the geometry properly in the prompt. But before I've got these versions also, and the beauty is I can all the time come back to the creations I made before or my colleagues made, and I can just click load. And it's going to reload all the settings, the prompt, the settings, the reference images has been used here. As you can see, everything was almost, the same. By the way, that's what we've got from the second attempt, place on the canvas, quite similar to what we've got here actually before. So this is the beauty of this process. And as you can see, I can just switch the reference image. Let's say in that case, I want to regenerate, right? So I'm going to reload, and maybe I'm going to remove this particular reference image, and I'm gonna keep something from actually completely different set of things. I have some interesting ideas here, right? So let me maybe take with this color picker something from this side. Let's say I like this gray material, or maybe this one, and I'm going to use it as image reference. By the way, if you just wait for a second, you're gonna get the extracted sub prompts, which means the AI can analyze each and every image you added, explain complete picture. I mean, what exactly you have. If I ask described image, it's going to add to the prompt window this complete description of this image. What is actually able to see in the image, like it is a chair or just neutral beige background, and the materials and everything. But also I can extract some sub prompts, and I can add them almost without any limitations. So I can just collect them from completely different images. Let's say from this one, I want a neutral tones, right? So this is some sub prompt I'm going to utilize here. Or for instance, it's added here in my prompt, right? Or maybe from image like this, I want to extract something different. Let's say I like this wooden style texture or something. Let the AI model to analyze this particular image and give me something based on it, right? Blue and orange spectrum, balance eliminations, artistic ball. In that case, I want a neutral backdrop, let's say, right? So this is how it works. You can collect different things and also the images itself. So for instance, in that case, I want to use this as a reference. And let's explore what we can get. Immediately, we can generate. I can switch to another model, let's say Flux. I'm going to explore what the latest model of Flux can give to me, and I'm going to generate, right? So in parallel, like I mentioned, I can generate many of different images. And again, if I already added my result somewhere, my colleague immediately, let's switch to my colleague's interface. So he able to see the same image here. He can load the settings and continue from his side, right? So that's what we were able to get, different versions of the chair like this, exploring different ideas. And then maybe I want to convert it to 3D design. So let me just duplicate it. And I'm going to convert this image to 3D. So it's going to analyze it for me and convert to our 3D model, basic 3D model. By the way, can I do the same with these images, with these references I built in Photoshop? Yes, definitely I can convert image to 3D and I can get this 3D model from it. Or maybe I can do this with this image. Yes, also I can convert and get this image to 3D. Yeah, just And by the way, this particular feature works for free because I think it's still in the preview mode or something. It's like a beta feature embedded across Firefly applications, right? Also, the really nice thing about these interfaces, these workflows. So how I can switch to Photoshop immediately, because actually this is the image I created in Photoshop with the Wacom device also, right? So immediately I can click, okay, just open this image for me in Photoshop. In that case, I want to jump to the initial version of this project. As the owner of this, project, I want to open in Photoshop, right? Again, you can see I'm switching, like imitating, the collaboration from two different machines, from the perspective of two completely different, designers in the team, and it's 100% simultaneous. So all the things we can just immediately see them. And I'm going to open this image in Photoshop for web automatically, but no worries, I can click open in desktop version. It's going to open in desktop version for me in a second. So that's what I'm getting right here in my desktop version. I cannot download this image right now. Let's do something once again. Yeah, just sometimes it might happen. It cannot do this, but it can send to the Firefly video interface, Firefly board, but cannot do for Photoshop right now. I know why, because in my case, I install Photoshop beta only. I don't have the normal version on Photoshop installed right now. Sometimes it's happening. Usually it's just going to open this image in Photoshop for you, right? So, and in Photoshop, what I actually can do with this sketch, let's say, right, inside Photoshop. So I have the sketch. Again, using Wacom, I just created this as a, designer for architecture in that case. And my prompt's going to be generate a highly photorealistic image based on this sketch, right? Right inside Photoshop, guys. So I can just select all, and in generative fill button, generative fill option, I have the new options included here. I just need to type my prompt, photorealistic, and three photo just and two or and just give me a second. Generate a highly photorealistic image based on the reference engineering sketch of medical facility building. Yeah, and place the building in the middle of. It's important. The prompt is really important all the time. We have to be specific, at least on certain level. Otherwise, the results you can get, it just maybe can be just wasting of your credits. That's it. Because even in Photoshop, it's going to utilize your credits definitely. Realistic desert environment. This is what I want to describe with paved access roads around and 2 or 3 photorealistic. What I want to mention, cars around. Yeah, cars parked in front. Okay, so just selector of the models. In parallel with beautiful Firefly latest fill and expand model, we have also Flux, we have also Gemini, and etc. Let me use Gemini Nano Banana Pro, and I'm going to just generate. It's going to take a minute, maybe just a few seconds usually. So we have the priority in terms of the integration with third-party solutions. And by the way, how the integration works in case of Adobe, the prompt and the reference image never goes directly to Google, immediately right now. So first of all, it goes to the Firefly orchestration level when it's going to be first of all, analyzed from the all the ethical aspects and from all the perspectives, like how it's going to be after that sent to the specific APIs provided by Google to Adobe, because everything should stay in your environment. I mean, your corporate data, your privacy, and rights, of course. I mean, the intellectual rights should stay with your organization and you as a creator. So this is how it works. And by the way, I can also apply content credentials right here in Photoshop, enable content credentials, which mean the specific new type of metadata. It's going to be applied to the file. I mean, implemented. Beautiful. That's what we've got. Absolutely fantastic, right? And the prompt was so simple actually, without even enhancement. And this is what I've got before, this similar, right? So what if I want to remove, let's say, these cars? Because I'm in Photoshop, I have all the control. I have the beautiful object selection tool, which can not only recognize any type of objects in my, image, but also it can recognize these cars. I can just select them with the shift key, right? And also I can select this reflection here. Just don't forget about reflection. And maybe I want to select even these shadows, I can just quickly add them like this. It's so smart. It's so, actually intelligent, this kind of selection tools in Photoshop, the new tools. And I'm going to, of course, extend my selection. I already did this, so the selection is here, right? So it's already created. And then I just need to use something like remove tool, right? So I can just go to the remove tool, the new tool implemented here in Photoshop. And we have some automated things here, but make sure that AI is enabled here if you need it, right? And then I just wanna, let's say, add something to my selection with this remove tool, because selection is here already, right? So I can maybe extend it. I can do something else. Let's say here I want to just with the shift key add a little bit more details to it, and then I just click to remove all of this. So I already did this. I don't want to waste our time. So this is what I've got. I removed this, unnecessary elements maybe here. Then I ask to generate the aerial view for the composition, right? So again, how I'm going to do this: select all, implement your prompt using, let's say, in that case, Firefly fill and expand model, and generate. That's what I've got. That's what I've got. The aerial view, another aerial view. So I can decide which one I'm going to use. Also, I implemented some conversion to the night, middle of the night settings with the moon and stars in the background for the same building with the 100% consistency using Firefly model in that case, and etc. Absolutely amazing. So let me demonstrate what we can do after that with this thing in our workflow here, because that's what I've got. I also applied the same but just put the things inside my Firefly boards from Photoshop already. So I just drag and dropped all my files, all my results, right? So, and that's what I'm getting after that. So for instance, I want to use two of these images to generate some aerial view, flying camera perspective. How I can do this? So I can decide if the first frame should be this image. Okay, let me convert it to a video, image to video, right? So I'm going to convert using the second frame. So the first frame, the last frame, Firefly video model, widescreen video. Yeah, it's going to utilize 500 credits. All right, I'm going to generate it now. Maybe I want to use something a little bit cheaper. Let's say Google View 3 Fast. It's going to take only 80 credits from the subscription. Let me generate right now. Again, in parallel, I can run multiple number of the processes. It's absolutely fine. That's what I've got actually. Before I already did this, the video is ready. If I just zoom in, it's going to reload this video with the good resolution for me, because we are in the browser. Firefly Boards, it's in the browser. That's why sometimes the resolution might be not perfect, but if you just refresh the page, you can get even with the better resolution. And also, if I feel like the resolution is not good, still not perfect, I'm going to upscale it right here in Firefly Boards. I have the upscale feature for video, for images. I'm going to use Topaz, we can say, model here for upscaling, generative upscaler for the video up to 4K quality, just 80 credits only. Or if I want some precision or creativity, it's going to change the also the credit capacity, we can say in that case, right? So I want to keep it like with the maximum quality, with the precision, and also 4K video I need to get. This is what I actually did before, the 4K video. Now I have it. So if I want to open it in Premiere Pro, easily I can just click open in Premiere Pro desktop. It's going to open this video in Premiere Pro for me. I don't want to do this now, but you've got the idea, So this tool is so flexible, absolutely fantastic. It is a game changer for your daily work. So for instance, for things like this, So I generated this beautiful composition to demonstrate the different fashion, styles, the sports, wear implemented to this model for my advertisement, for retail, for anything. And I just started with the simple thing, presets here. The presets are embedded inside Firefly. You have tons of different beautiful presets to convert the things, to combine the things together, to represent your products as some professional advertisement mock-ups and etc., or create some animations or logos or whatever. You have lots of things. And for instance, in that case, I'm going to use something like virtual try-on, right? Definitely. So I just want to use this subject as the main image, and this a second image from Adobe stock actually as the clothing in that case, right? So I have an additional, how to add some additional images. You can ask, look, I don't have the access to this. Actually, you have. If you click on View Prompt button, you're gonna get the full access to the full-fledged features here. So you can switch the model to the latest Nano Banana Pro. If you have lots of credits, maybe, just because it's instead of 10, it's going to utilize 40 because of the quality. It's gonna give you not 1000 pixel wide image, but it's proper, we can say, 4 megapixel picture, which is around 2800 pixels wide, something. And I can scroll down, so I can control the prompt now. And also I can add additional reference images like this, maybe, right? Beautiful. So that's what I can do, just generate. And I'm going to generate again. As you can see, I can generate even, a couple of different images. I want to switch to another model, let's say Flux 2, and play with the Flux 2 as well. So it's going to generate these images for me in parallel. Beautiful. So I already did this. See the results. So the sneakers are implemented, the t-shirt also implemented perfectly, and also I can all the time, describe this image as well and upscale this image if I need. But what I did actually, I converted to just a video with the man is running, simple prompt, right? So let me show you another example quickly right here. So for instance, if I go for the full advertisement project for the architecture, so I'm getting, and this is the one of the most complex workflow we usually can see, because the pipeline is so complex for 3D graphics, right? For architecture, let's say. Just one of the example, but you can apply it actually to any pipeline from the concepting to 3D, but usually we start with some simple sketch. By the way, I took this one from Adobe stock. Adobe stock has millions of this kind of royalty-free professional images, right? Or mockups and templates, because I have Pro Plus subscription. I have the unlimited access to Adobe stock. This is a beauty of my subscription in that case of Creative Cloud. And I just use this image, but it's nothing for me. I cannot demonstrate, and I cannot, create this model, or maybe even if I have this 3D model, it's going to take maybe days to render it in some different environments. So what I just need to do, I just need simple prompt like this, right? And I'm going to convert it, let's say, with the Firefly image 5. Where is the Firefly image 5? Yeah, it's there. So I'm just going to convert it again to the photorealistic render like this. This is what I've got with Firefly, with Google. By the way, this is Nano Banana Pro. The resolution is higher. And old Nano Banana, Flux, and ChatGPT, all the time we are getting different results, right? What if we improve our prompt? Let's make it prompt a little bit more advanced, just a little bit. That's what I was able to get, right? Also with different models. Beautiful. This one I love. It's absolutely fantastic. The lightning here, etc. But if I want to extend my prompt with all the details and explain the environment, in that case, I want to see the tropical forest around. This is what I've got. Absolutely amazing professional render. Or maybe with ChatGPT, I've got this one. Maybe even better in terms of lightning. So I can explore all of these things in one workflow, utilizing the same credits, from one subscription. I don't have to jump to another, third-party tools. I have everything here, and I can control what's going on with my subscription, with my credits, immediately see, all right, in that case, I have 7,000 because it's just Firefly add-on only. There is no Creative Cloud on this subscription even, only Firefly add-on. And yeah, it's just going to give me this information. Just might take a little bit of time. I need to refresh the page. So, and then I just want to generate 3/4 top view, an aerial view to the same composition. Again, I generated for a couple of different versions with Firefly, or maybe this one with Google. And then I want to use them to generate these beautiful videos. This one with Firefly video, yeah, and this one I've got with Google. Even with the sound, if you're able to hear the sound, because I explained I need this ambient sound of the ocean and tropical forest around and all of this stuff. Here I explained that I need to add some, music. And this is with the Ray 3. I generated with another model, Ray 3. Just really good for transitions, but a bit, tricky. It was a bit tricky to explain. So another examples here, just to speed up the process, and show you a couple of more features related with these tools. So the things like this interview, let's say when this lady representing some products,
the future of VR.
This is what I can generate inside Firefly, right? Or for instance, I also generated this video based on my images with the top aerial view and the normal view. I just generated this video when I have even this high beam with the lights and the end of the video. And then maybe I want to convert it to the sound. I have these modifications right here in Firefly. Let's say I want to open to generate sound effects, right? That's what I did already. Let me show you an example with sound effect here, just to, again, save our time. I need to switch to this. And I generated some sound effects like this. Yeah, because some of the models, they are not able to generate background audio, or it's not the right moment to generate music or background audio explaining in the prompt, right? It's better to have it after that, when we have all the control. This is what I was able to get. Fantastic. And believe me, we have I have millions different examples like this for each and every industry. Mockups today easily. So I just generated this bottle in completely different environment. What if I need to implement some logo to it? I have this from Adobe stock, this beautiful model. Then I just implemented this logo. I just incorporate this logo to the surface of the bottle. And that's what I was able to get, these different versions, right? So, and then we have also the new feature called editing, edit the text in the image. And I was able to change from the have a moment to have an idea, let's say, and it's implemented perfectly. I mean, because it can recognize the text inside your picture and do whatever you want with this text. Implementation for fashion design, easily. This calligraphy implemented to Abaya, we've got this result when it's just perfectly incorporated exactly like I asked in the prompt, and the prompt is there. But this project I did maybe, half of a year back, and still I have the access to all of this. And after that, I generated these beautiful videos like this, or maybe like this for my production, to demonstrate it to stakeholders before we start with the final or maybe real production. We have all the ideas. And again, it's not a replacement, guys. Just imagine how much time and cost you can save. But on the concepting side, on the ideation side, just to see the idea represented with the photorealistic video before we even start with the photo shooting or video shooting, moving with all this crew, all the team and cameras and equipment and to the venue to do this properly, to our studio. You've got the idea, right? Complex things, like for instance, after that, I wanna represent let me just use the prompt here, convert the photo of Abaya into flat sewing pattern layout, show clear front, back, sleeve parts visible separately, and etc. For the fashion design, it's absolutely crucial to have this kind of tools right inside one single board and be able to upscale, to convert to 3D or whatever. Yeah, by the way, about the conversion to the 3D, when we did this, I mean, I think I did not demonstrate this part to you. Just let me do this quickly. Let me switch to the 20 gen demo here. Yeah, I think this one, it was the demo for this part. You remember we tried to convert to 3D, where we did this. Let's say here, this is the 3D model created based on our chair. And I've got it also for the buildings, for the sketch of the building. Yeah, it's not perfect. Definitely, it's not perfect model, absolutely. But just for ideation, for exploration of our ideas and concepts, it's absolutely amazing to have this kind of tools here, right? So this is what you can get because of this integration of Firefly boards with the partner models and across all the applications. Also, we able to generate vector-based graphics right inside Adobe Illustrator or here in Firefly boards. I'm able to do this actually. Let me show you one example here. Maybe if, yeah, we can just maybe start with the, yeah, let's jump to Adobe Illustrator for a sec. In that case, we just need Adobe Illustrator to be open for us. Meanwhile, I'm going to jump to Photoshop for a second. Photoshop, yeah. Instructional editing, it's something absolutely crazy because today, if I just want to see my two, let's say, people like speakers for the event, I want to demonstrate them sitting in this, environment because I need to represent this demonstration of the relaxation, we can say, and kind of, this approach I want to emphasize. But I have only this really, really small images provided to me, common situation, we all know how it's happening. So in that case, I want to ask Photoshop, and as you can see, I'm here right inside Photoshop. I want to ask one thing. I want to just select all and ask, look, just incorporate these guys like I'm actually asking right now. Make woman appear sitting in the couch and man sitting in the chair, and make them, incorporated naturally to the scene. Make sure that proportions are realistic and etc. That's what I've got immediately. This is from the first attempt. This is what I've got. And the quality is absolutely amazing. And even after that, I can upscale this image with the generative upscale feature. Just go to the generative upscale. Inside Photoshop, I have the similar upscaler like in Firefly boards, but also I have even more because we talk about the professional tool. We have 3 different upscalers available. One from Adobe, commercially safe, and 2 from Topaz Gigapixel, Topaz Bloom, or for more creativity, we can say, and Topaz Gigapixel for the precision. Don't forget to activate this face recovery checkbox. Otherwise, do not expect the good job will be done with the faces. And see, I can increase the dimension up to 7,000 pixels. I think it will not allow me to do. No, it works now. So they improving, by the way, because in the previous update, it was up to 4,000 pixels only, 4K image. 8K image I able to get right now. It's absolutely fantastic, It's gonna give me this image. So I just want to jump to Illustrator for a sec. And in Illustrator, yeah, where are the examples I wanted to demonstrate here in Illustrator? Just a second. So for instance, when we just in Illustrator, we definitely can do lots of things today related with the generative AI features, By the way, upscaled, see the quality? See the quality? It's pure 8K image now, ready for production. Absolutely fantastic. The sharpness is absolutely unimaginable. I mean, considering from where we actually took these images in a really, really low quality. Okay, speaking about Adobe Illustrator and vector workflows quickly. All of these images, you can see here, all of them generated. Let's say how I generated this beautiful flat style and absolutely fantastic in terms of the smoothness of the shapes, the harmony here in this picture. It's absolutely amazing. The prompt is the tree of life spreading across sky and beneath the ground, right inside Adobe Illustrator. And the model in that case, it was after selected, the new mechanism here implemented recently. So the generative AI, the Illustrator will decide based on your prompt and your idea, which model is the best. But see the choice, 2 models from Adobe, around 5 models from the third-party models. I mean, third-party developers. This is absolutely fantastic. That's what I was able to get. This one, these images, and also these folks, and etc. And also to demonstrate you absolutely fantastic feature called turntable. Today I can convert this flat vector-based illustration, let's say to something like this maybe, or maybe even like this. I want to see this folks from different perspective. Because of the generative AI, I can easily do this kind of things, guys. Let me jump to Premiere Pro for a sec. Premiere Pro is getting also fantastic improvements on the AI side, definitely, but not only for extension of the videos. Today we don't have time to demonstrate this feature, definitely. Maybe you already have seen, maybe you joined our webinars before, but I demonstrated this millions of times already. When we can extend any video you have in your production, even 4K video, even 60 frames per second, and not only for 24 frames per second videos, you can extend up to 3 seconds at the end of the video or at the beginning of the video. I mean, for the footage you have. But here I have different problem. It's not related with the, we can say, generate extending of something or etc. So this is the big project. As you can see, it's complete movie, and also I have different sections here, tons of materials. In the project panel, there are tons of materials, like thousands of them, really. To find something in this kind of project, it's absolutely impossible. And don't say anything about metadata for me, please, because we all know it works for the small projects. For the big projects, at certain stage, someone in the team, they will forget to add this metadata properly. So we are going to lose all the connection with our materials. We will not be able to find anything inside this, right? So today I can just click on the search panel here, the new tool, the new, we can say, search tool available in the panel in Premiere Pro. They call it intelligent search, and it can find whatever you have in your project. In this specific project opened right now for me. So for instance, I'm looking for the skateboarding, right? Because we have a movie about skateboarder here. We have around 400 videos related with this subject. We also have lots of text, like the captions added, some titles, which also, in terms of the content, around 36 text content. And also it can recognize inside audio files, because it can also analyze all the sound files you have, audio files, and also extract, like maybe someone was saying in the interview about skating, something about skating. Okay, what if I want to find something, like say I need some interview? Okay, interview. Beautiful. I've got the footages only for different interviews, and I can just see maybe this interview I want to explore. So this is something, happening. This is audio file for an interview. Or maybe I have some, more results here. Yeah, definitely it's about some interviews in different, facilities inside this project, right? Or maybe I want to interview, but specifically I remember that it was footage. It was a scene when 2 people, they were sitting in the car, right? Inside a car. Beautiful. Only inside a car, right? So I can now use this properly, and I can, let's say, find maybe just a car, or maybe green car, if I have it in my project, or wherever, it's just how it works. You have the intelligent search for your project to find whatever you want in a second. Amazing improvement. And the last thing for Premiere Pro I want to demonstrate today, definitely, it's about the masking. The new masking tool, when we go to the, let me just open something different in that case. Skateboarding also might be a good example here. Just want to add some open some advertisement video for, you know, the sport. So we have this video about this, you know, sportsman. She's doing, you know, different type of activities here, running and all of this stuff. And for instance, I wanna use this graphics, this motion graphics here, this logo represented. But definitely it's not right way because I wanna move it to the background. So I need to extract the athlete in that case from the video. So I'm going to duplicate the video, the footage with the athlete, right? And use the new selection tool, object mask tool, because the object mask works like the select object tool in Photoshop. So we got it inside Premiere Pro now. It's so smart, intelligent tool for selection. So I can just click here. It's going to automatically select it for me. I want to click on this bottle and I want to use lasso tool with the shift or option key if I want to add some additional parts of the selection or extract them, you know, and I can track this now because if I jump to my effect controls panel, I've got the object mask implemented. Be careful, by the way, if you start using this tool like with many clicks, you're gonna get lots of you know, additional unassigned masks here, all of them separately maybe. So just try to keep it under your control all the time. So, and now I can track this mask for the complete video, and I can click on tracking to both directions, forward and backward, you know, in one click. So it's going to track it for me. Not perfect in some of the cases. The beauty is I can just go to the specific part that I can see some problems, and I can of course select this part. I mean, click and select it automatically, or even like this with the shift key. And I'm going to track it again back and forth just to, yeah, you can do the step by step. No one is actually asking to track it like automatically all the time. But if I've got some problem, see, in one click, I can fix it immediately. And the quality is perfect now. And what I'm going to do in that case, just simple thing, I'm going to convert to opacity mask, right? So that's what I'm getting now. So my animation, I mean the motion design, piece of motion design, it's going to be visible in the background. And I have all the control for the edges of selection if I need. But this is what I can do with the new selection mask tool, object selection mask tool in Premiere Pro. So as you can see, all of these features available across Firefly. The last piece of things inside Firefly I'm going to demonstrate to you today. This is about the automation. So inside Firefly today, you are getting something called creative production. If you need to, let's say, color grade a bunch of images, you have 100 images, you want to change the color to implement some specific LUT for them, color grade, you have this feature. Just drag and drop your images. It's going to color grade them with some specific custom preset. You might also, you know, use aftertoning or your preset uploaded. In that case, I want to do, yeah, you also can crop the images. You have like some iterations for Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, wherever. Just send a bunch of your images to this interface. It's going to crop them automatically for you. In my case, I'm going to use some remove background, right? So just how it works, you know, I just have a bunch of images like this, maybe, just give me a sec. Maybe these images from Adobe Bridge or my, you know, Explorer in Windows, just drag and drop them from the folder to this web interface. It's going to analyze your images, PNG, GPG. There's no support for PSD format so far for importing, only for exporting. Color background, okay, maybe I want to implement something, you know, my hex code or image background. So I have 3 different versions. I can maybe if I don't need the color background to be also made for me, I can just uncheck it, you know, deactivate. I can upload my background. Let's say it's going to be some also image taken from Adobe Stock, beautiful. Maybe this one I want to use, and etc. And transparent background. So I want to continue. So I need to jump to the next stage, and I can decide. In that case, I need PNG and PSD maybe. Just be careful. It's going to utilize a number of credits from your subscription be patient here. I mean, just don't forget to check it and make sure you have the credits and process it. So you're gonna get the job log here. Let me show you because I already did this. I don't wanna waste our time, waiting for maybe 1 minute and etc. So the first, by the way, attempt today failed for me. This is okay. I just explored that some image was wrong, so I just did it with the bunch of different images. Let me save them to, let's say, my desktop or my downloads folder, right? So let me just use it in my downloads folder. Where is it? Downloads. Yeah, it's there. Beautiful. Save. So I can just open this from my downloads folder, and I'm getting this zip archive. I can open this zip archive, and I've got the PSD files, and I have also with transparent background, with the colored background, because I did 3 versions for each and every image in this set. See, the hairs also extracted properly. Yeah, the result might be not so good like in Photoshop with the new object selection tool with the latest features and all the control from your side. But anyways, it's so good to speed up these processes, with this kind of, just imagine for marketing, how you can speed up the situation. And also I'm getting the Photoshop files in that case, which means I can open in Photoshop and I have these separate layers. Everything is done for my manual work here because, okay, this is the background, this is the colored background. I also ask to implement everything inside one Photoshop file. And this is only the beginning of this automation processes, because specifically and only for Adobe for enterprise ETLA contracts, only for ETLA, not for Teams and this version of Creative Cloud. Adobe also released and announced recently something like Creative Production for Enterprise. And this is about node-based workflows, which means each and every component, not each and every component so far, but like generative AI features, some selection feature, or maybe some other components across applications like Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Premiere, or After Effects, they're going to be available like nodes in one workflow. So we can just create nodes, assemble, construct if you want, and build our workflows using different functionality across different applications, mix them together in one workflow, connect them with some kind of connectors here with some specific parameters. Let's say here in this particular workflow, we started with some text prompt, then we implemented Firefly text to image to generate this image, then we implementing some pixelation filter from Photoshop. Also we might embed some colors, some, let's say, hue saturation filter to make it more greeny. As you can see, immediately we can get result in one workflow. We can play with the settings, and then we maybe want to convert it to a video. Let's see. Yeah, this is about hue saturation in the high quality. Then we maybe want to convert it with the product. So we just uploaded our 3D model or our image, and we just want to embed this product to this background. This is the complete workflow. And we are getting these videos at the end, right? Because the prompt in the middle, the notes with the prompts just explain how this video should work. The background should move, the splashes should move in the certain way, to represent this like we actually want to see. The beauty is we can save it as a template, and we can change the product, we can change the background, and everything we have in the specific pieces of this workflow. And this is something available exclusively for ETLA customers of Adobe. If you are big enough, if you have like huge production, and you struggle a lot, with this content demand today, just tell us. Definitely, we know the ways how to support you and how to find the proper ways to solve this problem for you, right? So let me ask from your side if you have any questions, because I think we just running out of time a little bit. So, and if you allow me, I just am gonna open maybe this information here. If I also have maybe my email by any chance, let me put in the what do you call it, this Teams chat, right? So my email, if you want to, ask any questions directly, please anytime, because what we are usually doing, we are doing the tailored demonstrations, definitely grounded to your specific needs. Maybe you are from the fashion design or retail, or maybe you work for the construction, like I mentioned today, a couple of examples on the archivist side, right? So maybe it's completely different. Maybe you are an agency who actually has everything. I mean, all type of projects on the, this project basis approach, right? So just tell us what kind of challenges you have. Yeah, sir, can you tell, Peter is asking actually, sir, can you tell use of this in perfume design industry, please? Absolutely. Peter, millions of cases for the perfume design. It's one of the most common case now, of course, for the generative AI and implementation of generative AI across Photoshop mainly, but not only Photoshop, Illustrator as well. Because if we work on the labels for perfume, for the design, of the label, and after that we want to see this label implemented as a high realistic mock-up to the specific perfume bottle, let's say, or some different packages. Obviously, we have millions of cases like this. Yeah, if I knew in advance, maybe I will prepare something like this from my archive or whatever. I would recommend to have some, one-to-one session in that case. I mean, for your creative team, just bring your team together on the Teams call. Just contact us. All right, just contact us. Maybe contact your trusted reseller. I mean, if you are already purchasing the licenses from one of the resellers here in the Middle East region, or maybe contact us directly. Any case we can discuss, we can find a solution for you. Yeah, Peter, sorry, I was reading this question, I think, a little bit late. So yeah, definitely we don't have time now to demonstrate anything related with this. Anyways, like I mentioned, why is this implemented AI with Photoshop to Creative Cloud better than app like Higgsfield? Look, by the way, I love Higgsfield. I love FreePic. I love Higgsfield. I love Crea. I love all of these models. First challenge for all of these models, and you've seen what's happening with this absolutely fantastic company like Higgsfield in terms of the growth. Now they reached $1 billion or something. Yeah, recently they were making these interviews. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's fantastic what they're doing. At the same time, have you seen that X Twitter platform, they banned, not just blocked, they recently banned Higgsfield. Why? Why it's happening? Because the companies like Higgsfield, we don't have trust from the corporate side, from the enterprise grade, in terms of the data ethical aspects. There is no trust, because in Higgsfield basically we can generate whatever we want to generate with the Chinese models also implemented inside, and this is the main thing about this kind of platforms like Higgsfield, actually, because they work with the Chinese models mainly. Yeah, I know some of them might be even better than Google Veo now, let's say. Yeah, this is what's happening in the industry. Yeah, at the same time, what's happening with the data, no one can tell you. They usually use your data to train the model, which means your piece of content might be replicated easily and appear in some of the generative AI results for thousands of different people around the world. Whereas, there is no trust, there is no safe in terms of how they work with your data. Also, integration. I'm sorry, but with FreePic, Higgsfield, and all of these aggregators and platforms, there is no integration with Photoshop or other tools. And like I demonstrated, maybe again I just mentioned it, but in terms of the demonstration, for instance, like I mentioned, the file I have here, video file I generated, I can open directly from Firefly Boards, and open it in Premiere Pro Desktop in one click. What I can do with the image, like I mentioned, just let me duplicate it. and I'm going to, open this image in Photoshop. I don't know if you can show me the same level of integration or at least similar level of integration. But the most maybe interesting thing here, you remember we just opened some of the visuals in Illustrator, let's say, and this is some of the works of my students, by the way. Let me open this file in Illustrator. Yeah, beautiful illustration, by the way. So let me just open this file. Yeah, and I can just drag and drop this file directly to Firefly Boards, to the generative AI environment in one click. Just a sec. It needs to be open, of course. It cannot work like a magic. In the wrong window, I cannot just drag and drop it. Yeah, Illustrator a file with all these vector-based graphics I've uploaded directly, and it's still Adobe Illustrator. The visibility is there. The content credentials all the time applied. This one generated with Google. This one generated with Firefly, let's say, something different maybe here. Which image was generating, let's say, with Firefly, the initial one, also with Google. Okay. Yeah, this one, for instance, Flux or Firefly or whatever, you can see the actually source of the content you have inside this AI-based workflow. At the same time, you have connection with Adobe Illustrator, which means this file I can easily open. See, it's actually linked. I can unlink it if I want. I can download this as Adobe Illustrator, and I can also open directly in Adobe Illustrator. Again, same approach. I'm going to open it in Adobe Illustrator from the cloud. Everything I change here, adding here like new artboard, new elements. Maybe I want to recolor it with the generative AI, whatever I want to do. Let's say generative AI features, and I want a generative recolor, and I'm gonna let's say ask to generate like sunset colors, and generate, right? So just few ideas maybe from the sample prompts I can get, but maybe something like this I want to implement, and see if I do this and I can change, let's say, allocation of this building in the composition a little bit and put it in the background maybe in terms of the layers, right? So somewhere like this. And because I have all the editing capabilities of Illustrator, I just want to save it, and it's going to be reflected immediately or almost immediately, depends on the file size, of course, right inside my boards, right? So I'm going to wait until it's going to be updated, and in a few seconds, I might see the change file here. Yeah, just take some time. All right, you've got the idea. So after some time, it's going to be updated for me. Still waiting for it. Can you please update it for me? Would really appreciate if you do. And it's going to be reflected right here inside this interface. Still, I'm waiting because, maybe so many things open in my case. Yeah, this is the main advantage, the integration and the governance of the data. Like I mentioned, the models integrated in a commercially safe way, not like the other models. Okay. Let me come back to the chat. Oh, yes, exactly. We will share recording. You can freely send the link to anyone, your colleagues, your friends. Please go ahead. Involve your teams, your team leads also to these discussions, and put us in front of your team. Let us, continue this, because we are here to support and move the things for you forward. All right. Thank you very much once again. And I hope to see you next time. Just, please stay connected with us. Subscribe for Graphi's channel on LinkedIn. And also, we might maybe send some of the news about our webinars, on monthly basis. We are doing some of the things, new things. Thanks a lot. Have a good day, everybody.